Hey guys, SeetherCord here, and welcome to the newest episode of SeetherRambles for today. Today is episode 10, Big 1-0. We're finally in the double digits for this series, guys. It only took like, 3 or 4 months to get 10 episodes? I'm so great. Anyways, we got a kind of important episode for SeetherRambles for today for a few reasons. One reason is also it's kind of like an update kind of as to what really big and important is about to go on in my life. Another reason is that this is the first episode we've had in like almost 4 weeks, I think. And also, this is the first time we're doing an episode that's not on a Saturday. It's going to be on, I believe, Mondays when I'm going to upload this. But yeah, SeetherRambles today for Monday, first episode in nearly a month, and a very important one as that is. So, with all that explained, let's just get right on into it. For today's episode of SeetherRambles, we are going to be discussing 3 different things, and that is the ant infestation that's currently going on within my house, my issues with Patreon, and the aspect of my girlfriend coming over. Let's first begin with the ant infestation. This is going to be kind of a gross story and also kind of a creepy story, but this is something that's been happening to me as of lately, and it's both confusing, creepy, and also even annoying, and I just want to share it with you guys today. So, for starters, I want you guys to know that I moved into a new house about 7 or 8 months ago, around Thanksgiving time of last year, so November 2018. And my room is kind of the attic to the house. Like, it's still a room, it has a bathroom, it has a shower and everything, but it's like in the portion that's like really high up in the house that's like kind of an attic in a way. My room is very small and compact, and I really like that aspect of it. However, due to the fact that it's being kind of partially the attic, and also due to where it's being placed within the house, I have to deal with a lot of roaches and other types of pests and insects getting into my room for whatever reason. I have to usually deal with the occasional roach, the occasional fly, the occasional like beetle and everything coming into my room. Usually it's because they're crawling through the window cracks that are like slightly, the little crack within the window. They're able to climb through that way even though I have the windows closed. And also because when they were doing the bathroom, when building the house, the person was not getting the flooring in correctly, and they were able to crawl through the flooring in my bathroom to get in. It got really annoying, but for the most part, I was able to handle it, and it didn't really bother me that much. Until it got to the point where we had to deal with ants. And the ants, in my opinion, are the one type of insect/pest that has come into my room that nearly broke me, that I was like, I nearly can't handle this anymore. Now let me explain as to why that is. I am not really the type of person to leave food or water out in my room. I'm not really that kind of person that's really gross in that sense, which is usually what causes like ants and roaches to be attracted to someone's room and to get in, is if you leave food out and all. But also it has to do with the factor that we recently had a lot of tornado warnings and thunderstorms and all, and even though that was like a week ago, there's still like a lot of the soil that's wet and everything, so the ants are trying to get into my house in order to get to some shelter and all. And it's getting annoying because of the fact that they're climbing in through wherever the heck it could be. It could be through the windowsill, or it was coming through the cracks in the bathroom walls, which I actually got that part fixed because I went out and bought a cement gun and cement glued the freaking flooring that was missing because of them not getting that in correctly. Still, I have to deal with the ants, and again, I'm not the type of person to leave food out, but if I even leave the slightest amount of like food, or if I leave like a takeout bag or something in my room, even though it's like in a protected safe bag, I'll wake up to a bunch of ants just like crawling all over it, and there's like literally 500, 600 ants like crawling around my room at one time, and it's annoying and it's disgusting and it's just and I've spent freaking hours just like cleaning off my room trying to keep these things out of here, and it gets really frustrating. The most scary aspect and creepiest aspect to me about the whole thing would have to be on one specific occasion about last week, where I woke up to literally 400 or 500 ants crawling all over my body, and it was the most disgusting and scariest thing I've probably experienced this whole year. Just having them like crawl in my eyebrow and crawl in like the crevice of my eye and like get in my ear and everything, it was insane. And I like quickly like got up and I had to like take a shower and all, and the slight ant bites and all to it as well just made it miserable. And when the ant situation got even worse in my own room, I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna go sleep in the guest bedroom, which is on the other complete opposite end of the house. And the creepy part to this all is that I went to go sleep in the guest bedroom for one night, and I wake up the next morning to the ants crawling inside the guest bedroom, and like as if they were following me, and I'm like, what is attracting these ants to me so much? Maybe I'm the sweetest thing in the room. I don't know. I would like to believe that. But anyway, it just got worse and worse. And it got to the point where I bought a bunch of like ant killer spray. And the moment I got that ant killer spray, I just started like spraying them all down, just killing all of them like instantly. And it just got like, oh yeah. It even got crazier because I thought the situation was done and over with and all. But then the next thing I knew, one day I was just driving, or I was ready to go and drive out of my, the driveway of my house, and the ants were crawling inside my car, and I keep my car clean for the most part. Like, yeah, maybe maybe there's the occasional empty water bottle and all, but that's pretty much it. I don't leave food lying around or anything like that, yet they still come in, and it's like crazy how they're being attracted to me. I feel like I'm the ant king or something like that. And it's scary and weird, and I have trouble like sleeping at night because I don't know if they're gonna crawl on me anymore. I'm like, ugh. But on the bright side, they haven't really crawled on me within like the past like 5 or so days, so that's good. And also, I haven't really seen that many of them other than the occasional like 1 or 2 in about a couple days as well. So hopefully the situation's coming to an end. Maybe the soil outside isn't as wet anymore and it's finally drying up, so they're not gonna come into the house for shelter. I hope that's the case, but fingers crossed. But like, oh my god, it was a nightmare dealing with all of that. It really was. Now let's move on to the Patreon worries. This one is going to discuss a couple things that I did wrong personally, and I'm owning up to them. And it involves the Patreon and how I feel like I want to implement some changes. They're not official yet. I'm just telling about my ideas. And if there are going to be changes to the Patreon, I will let you guys know in a future update video. To be short and simple, there was someone who followed me on Patreon and like gave me some donations and all. It was like at least $3 or $5 from what I remember. It was at least 3, so where they got credited in the outro of my videos and all, and also in the description. And then after 1 month of supporting, they no longer wanted to support me on Patreon. I think it was because of the fact that I had like a certain viewpoint they didn't like, because when it came to like they were pretty much just saying they didn't support like what I was like stating against and all, from what I remember. And that's fine and all. And I made the mistake by completely forgetting about it and still crediting them in my videos for an extra month and a half. And they got really mad and they sent me a message on Patreon getting really angry and aggravated with me and telling me to get rid of it like immediately. And then I finally did it and all, and they were still mad, and I felt pretty bad because I know it was my fault and I wasn't being responsible with the Patreon and all. And yeah, it just overall made me not feel good about Patreon. Another reason as to why I'm feeling kind of bad on Patreon when it comes to connecting to this as well is because I've been seeing a lot more videos on YouTube pop up about how Patreon as a whole is becoming a less desirable / a lot not as respected platform for YouTubers, or at least for fans of YouTubers and all, because there's a lot of people who are complaining about how a lot of people on YouTube who are going to Patreon and telling their fans to support them on Patreon are kind of robbing them of their money, or they're making tiers or giving out rewards that are not necessary, or the fact that these people simply don't need the Patreon support and are already making enough money through ad revenue or other reasons. And it's just making me feel guilty because even though I have had Patreon throughout at least a few years now, I've never really gotten to the point where I was really comfortable with doing it. I think a year after I started getting traction on my channel was when I finally decided to open up my Patreon, because I just didn't feel comfortable with handling other people's money, and I was scared of having situations where people would get mad over me not being passionate towards my rewards and all. And that happened recently, and I feel like as if this is what happened. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm going to cancel it, but however, I might want to make some edit to some tiers and probably get rid of some of the like higher end tiers and all, like getting a video shout out or getting like, an idea for a video taken out, because I just feel like it's a little like too much pressure to like hold on to that, and I don't want to like risk that again. So maybe in the future there will probably only be like 2 tiers, which will be $1 and $3. $1 just to support, $3 get credited at the end of the video and in the description. And I feel like I can hopefully do that well and probably earn your guys' trust again. And again, I'm sorry to anyone who was maybe disappointed in me over the Patreon thing. I'm sorry to the person who got really mad over me not being responsible with the Patreon, and I take full responsibility for it. Last thing that we are going to discuss today for SeetherRambles is a very important trip that is going to be coming up in my life in less than 2 weeks from now, or actually As the time of, I believe, the day that this video is going to come out, it's going to be about 11 days from now, and it's crazy. Basically, just to keep it short, I mentioned it in like a month or two ago in another episode of SeetherRambles, I think 2 or so episodes ago, that like it's coming up and it might affect the upload of videos. It might still do that, but to tell you guys and kind of announce what's going on, even though I said it in like one of our Undertale episodes on my gaming channel, which you should subscribe to that anyway. Long story short, Cramchi is going to be coming over to my house. She's going to be flying into America from Brazil and everything, and she'll be staying with me for 3 weeks, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to be going to New York City for a few days, and we're going to be recording a lot of stuff together in person, and I'm going to really take this time, these 3 weeks. I know I'm going to say I might have some hiatus going on, but I'm going to try to get a lot of videos pre-made and scheduled for the channel right before she gets here, so that way I don't have to stress about videos as much, because I've invested a lot of money and time into having these 3 weeks come up, and I really don't want the stress of videos to like impact that, because this is like a really big trip that's important to me and to her, and I don't want this to really impact that. But we also are going to try to record a lot of gaming channel stuff together in person, and also maybe even some main channel stuff, and maybe we could vlog it and all. Like, there's a trampoline park in my town we're gonna go to. That might be fun. Maybe we can vlog that if she's okay with it and I'm okay with it. And if we're just up to it, we maybe just record ourselves doing some other random stuff, and maybe some fursuit stuff too. She's gonna bring her fursuit, so why not? So to let you guys know that the first 3 of the 4 weeks of August are probably going to be up in the air of whether or not we're going to have that many videos up. I'm going to try to get as many videos as I can ready before she gets here to schedule for the channel, and then we can work on some stuff, her and I together, and maybe have some time for just us to just chill out and all, and not have to worry about videos while she's here. And I might not be online Twitter as much because I want to focus on this trip and everything. But if I don't have that much content out, I'll let you guys know. And if I only get like a few videos or so ready before she gets here, then I'll just like schedule them evenly. Like if I only get 3 videos done, I'll do like 1 video a week for those 3 weeks and all. But just letting you guys know, I hope you all enjoyed listening to this video and all. I'm sorry that there's not been an episode of SeetherRambles in a while, but we're finally back to it. I'm sorry it's not on Saturday, but we're at 10 episodes and that's cool. How do you guys feel about my ant infestation problem? How do you guys feel about my Patreon issues? How do you guys feel about Cramchi coming over to stay at my place? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoy my content and want to further help out my channel, please consider donating to my Patreon, potentially, and my coffee, hitting that like button, turning on the notification bell, and subscribing altogether. I have been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone. I think that's it. That should be all the fails. No, we got one more. This time I didn't get hurt. It was just bounced me back from like making them frozen for a bit.